Hey, Shalom. All praise unto Yahweh Shemi Shai. Double honesty, apostle of GMS. Honesty brothers will be pushing the truth in double honesty, apostles of GMS, and honesty brothers will be pushing this truth in sincerity. Alright, so I've got some articles in front of me here. The first of which begins at Sputnik News regarding GMO apples. Okay, so the apples that's going to be sold out there in America, which are apples supposed to be, uh, um, it's supposed to be a healthy food. Okay, something that's supposed to make you better. Okay, now they're gonna make it to where now they're going to make it to where that's not the case. Okay, and with the different articles that I've got here, we're gonna go through those you know different pieces of information. So it starts off with the statement: genetically modified apples will make their U.S. debut. Okay, in February 2017. Okay, so this is been termed the year of death, destruction, and diligence. Okay, and on Esau's part, he looks like he's making a major push towards his due diligence regarding his so-called New World Order, because as you're gonna see with these different articles I got here, there is an agenda to take what you know as regular food off of your shelves and give you this genetically modified food for a multitude of reasons. Okay, one of which Esau thinks is actually going to be better for making them money, and it is, because if you think about some of the things that they're gonna say they're gonna say as the advantages to this apple, one of which is how it's not gonna rot as quickly, or it's not going to look as bad after you've bitten into it. From a monetary standpoint, that's going to be a very sellable item. Okay, but from a health standpoint, that's detrimental to the human body, and that's why the scripture says that shall the children of Israel eat their bread defiled amongst the heathen. And this is us eating the bread, our bread, which represents food. This is us eating our bread defiled amongst the heathens. Okay, and what you're going to see here is they're going to say that they don't have to class it as genetically modified. They just pushing it out there. Okay, so it says genetically modified apples will make their U.S. debut in February 2017. It says the apples altered to decompose more slowly. That's why I said that's going to be the selling point of it. Okay, all right, will be sold in a pilot program in 10 grocery stores in the Midwest. And it says the apples are produced by Canadian GMO company, okay, Okan Gan Specialty Fruits, okay, in British Columbia. So, like I said, that agenda to push forth GMO foods, or Frankenstein foods, as is going to be termed within the other article I got there, that's being fulfilled out there. So let me read one more point from this before I move on to the next article. Okay, so so it says here. Right, so it says here, this is the important bit. So it says, OFC President Neil Carter claimed that the packaging is in accordance to U.S. law regarding the labeling of genetically modified food. The only way consumers will know that they are buying a GMO product is if they scan a QR code on the packaging. Now, how many Negro, Hispanic, or Native American people do you know that are actually going to do that? It ain't going to be a lot of them. Okay, so you're gonna have a lot of a death as a result of this. Okay, because this is not just the only thing that's being pushed out there. This is part of a wider campaign to push more GMO foods. Okay, this is a part of a wider scheme to push forth more Frankenstein foods out there between whatever society, really throughout the whole world. Okay, all right, really throughout the whole world. Okay, and these foods are detrimental to the human body. And we're gonna see some of the examples of why you're not supposed to be eating that kind of food. Okay, the Most High had it to where the seed goes in the ground, it grows. Okay, and it brings forth fruit. Okay, you don't have to have it to where a mad scientist comes in there and then does something else to it. Okay, so it says there. This is an article that was published in 2016, on the 23rd of January, February, March, April, May. Okay, it says perfect match farmer. Okay, big giant Bayer offers 62 billion for GMO empire Monsanto Okay, so you got Germany, which was trying to get within. Now I don't know if they achieved that, and ultimately we know by way of the workings of the elite banking families that they're trying to tie up all of these different enterprises that they set up on all of these different countries to what, to give you one label, okay, one choice, and that's going to be genetically modified rice, or genetically modified apples, or genetically modified potatoes, okay. All right, to the end of they could do whatever they want with you, man. Okay, you could eat an apple and you could drop dead, man. You could eat some rice, you could drop dead. Okay, so it says here, Bayer offered 122 pounds per share, saying that United States pesticides and fertilizer producer was a perfect match for the German firm agricultural business. Okay, this transaction will create a leading integrated, and that word is important, a leading integrated agricultural platform. What does that allude to? That alludes to what you know as the so-called New World Order, man. Okay, because the New World Order is all about integrating, okay, all of these different factors of life, of which they all are integrated. Okay, so you might have it to where you've got 7 different types of cereals that you're buying off of the shelf, but you might have it to where there's only one true producer at the top of the chain. Okay, they say there's like 7 different corporations or companies that run the whole food market out there within the United States. That's 7, but you got all of this choice. Okay, and if you really go a tier above that, it might be a handful of so-called Jews that run all of that, and they have one agenda, okay, one unified agenda, which is to destroy you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. So really, this thing of breaking news, you know, you got GMO apples coming to that. They was always coming because that's the agenda of the elite banking families. But ultimately, this is just what you know as publicizing it. Okay, as you read from this, the only way you was going to be able to know about, in accordance to U.S. Laws regarding labeling of genetically modified food, is if you scan the QR code. So ultimately, that means you go into your shop here before these things get put on the market. You might find out some of the stuff that you've been eating is GMO, man. Okay, so let me read this. So it says New World Order weapon Monsanto, okay, the most evil corporation in the world, okay, governs U.S. government, and they show you that within Cowspiracy. Okay, I'll show you the documentary here. Okay, I believe it's in Cowspiracy because let me show the images. I believe it's in Cowspiracy. They make pretty much a term like that. Okay, they allude to the fact that you got these pharmaceutical companies, okay, and you've got it to where these companies like Monsanto, okay, they really govern what happens within Congress, because you got, you know, I mean, I'm not too knowledgeable on how the United States governmental structure works, but I believe, you know, certain bills get suggested, and I think it is within Cowspiracy or is in 13, okay, right? You get it to where certain bills are passed, okay, and those bills really are suggested by these corporations, man. Okay, so if they need a bill to be passed that's in accordance to what they need to make their money, they're gonna put it forth. So in 13th they show you that. Okay, and I believe it's also, and all of these are available on Netflix, by the way. These are good documentaries to watch, to learn. You know, it's not always good watching, you know, twerk videos or something crazy like that, man. Okay, it's also good to put stuff. I mean, hey, when you go out there to the camp and when you're speaking, okay, you're speaking on what you've put into your brain. Okay, so if you're not studying, you're not watching documentaries, guess what? You're just gonna spew out just pure garbage, man. Okay, these are the things that you want to be feeding your brain with. Now, obviously, you're gonna have some downtime. Okay, there's balance to everything that more side does requires, man. Okay, obviously there's balance. You're gonna have some downtime, but you're gonna be watching documentaries like this, which all brothers should have watched 13th by now. But regarding these particular articles I'm going into, Cowspiracy is also a good article to go into, because they go into global warming and so on and so forth, and whether it's true or false. And they also say the largest impactor of disaster to the world, if you will, is the over grazing of cows, man. Okay, because you got it to where all of them fat Americans, well, they like their steaks, man. Okay, and in order to feed that desire, to feed to feed the companies like McDonald's or Burger King and so on and so forth, you gotta have a lot of cows out there, man. Okay, of which that's not how the Most High had it to where, the Most High had it to where you might eat a cow or cow meat, beef, if you will. You might have that once a month, okay, because that's what was in the season. Okay, and you might have chicken another day because that's what's in season. Okay, that's how the Most High deals. You deal with stuff and you eat it when it's over season. But see, Esau wants apples all year round, so he's gonna put some GMOs in it. Okay, Esau wants beef meat. Okay, burgers. Okay, and IUIC want their burgers and their fringes. They want that all year round. So guess what? You got a whole over cultivation, man. Okay, which that goes into a little bit, a little bit of it. Okay, so let's go back within this article right here and pick out some few key points in there. Okay, so it says Monsanto is not only the world's largest producer of GMO seeds, but also has a murderous past through the production of toxic chemicals and dioxic or orange of spraying in Vietnam. It says PCBs. It says and more, which are said to have killed millions of people. So that's the company here, Monsanto. Okay, that works to push GMO uh, um, foods out there within America and so on and so forth. I think I had a couple more points that I wanted to pick out here, but it's not really relevant. The points made within just that. Oh, this is it. It says Monsanto says that soy products are very toxic to rats, producing cancers and tumors and premature births and cognitive malfunctions in humans too. Okay, and organ damage, mostly because Monsanto is supplementing Roundup. Okay, it says it grows its growth hormones for cows to increase milk production led to udder infection. Let's check out what that is. Okay. Right, so this is the mammary gland of female cows. Okay, uh, right. So where the milk is produced. All right. So they get infected all up in there because they got the growth hormones that just so you can have milk every day. Okay, and that's what's being pushed out there. So to meet your so-called demands for your milk, okay, your so-called 5 a day, now it's gonna be GMO 5 a day. Okay, your milk that you're gonna be getting, that's gonna be milk from cows that's got infections in it because they've been pumping growth hormones in it for it to produce milk all year round. Okay, so let's go to I'll finish off on this, which ties back on with this original with the original article. So it says here 11 scientific reasons why you should avoid GMO foods, and it says now. Okay, so if you're eating that, you want to stay away from that. It says it is estimated that 80% of processed foods now contain, and this is, where is this written? Okay, this is written, I want to know what country this is written in. Doesn't tell me. Okay, it doesn't tell me. But it's safe to assume that this is probably in most countries. Okay, so it says 80% of processed foods now contain genetically modified organisms, also called GMO source. The rapidity with which these Frankenstein's foods have invaded and continue to expand within our food supply is nothing short of terrifying. Okay, it's important to know. This is and you got guys out here, all right, amidst the so-called and they call themselves Israelites and they call themselves men of the Lord and so on and so forth within these different camps out there. Okay, and they have no problem living within this society. They don't speak about the destruction. You have to have it to where the Lord comes back and destroy this society. Like it says in Matthew, lest they not be any flesh left to save, man. Okay? If the Lord doesn't come back soon, there's actually not going to be anybody else left to save. This man is a cancer to the earth. Okay? You got to open your eyes up to the fact that the people that are in rulership right now, okay, do not bring forth anything but death. Okay, that's what you have to understand. And so having a death, a vile creature that perpetuates death in power, You have to take them out for you to have what? Life, man. Okay? You have to do that. Okay? So it says, for example, Monsanto's Roundup Ready GMO sugar beets were first introduced into the market in 2008. And now, a short few years, at least 92% of the sugar beets grown in the United States are GMO. Okay, so if you're let's go to it. Let me show you what sugar beet is. You should know what sugar beet is. Uh, okay, so this is sugar beet. What they do with this is pretty much there's about they really use only maybe about 10% of that crop. But what they do is they beat it, okay. They beat it and then they produce sugar granules. Okay, they soak it in water and granulize it. So let's see if I can find an image of the sugar process. Okay, say processing it, processing, and it'll show me. It should show me an image of what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, so that's an example of it. So you boil it, so they boil it, or if you're dealing with a bigger company, they take it up the conveyor belt, okay, boil it, okay, and the rest is just waste, okay. But what you have left over is sugar, okay. So if you're dealing with that white sugar, and if you're in this truth, you ain't supposed to be eating that white sugar. But hell, how are you supposed to escape it? Because you go to McDonald's, these niggas go to McDonald's or Burger King or anything like that, and order one of their soft drinks. Well, guess what? Them soft drinks that they're having, as you're seeing here, all of them soft drinks contain what? Sugar beet. Okay, and they're telling you here that 95% of the sugar beet grown in America right now, okay, 95% grown in America, okay, is genetically modified. Okay, so if you might say, okay, I don't buy um the granulated sugar or whatnot. What do you think these companies like Red Bull, okay, Iron Brew, Coca-Cola especially, okay, Lucozade and Frigid, what do you think they've all been using? Okay, and that's funny actually. I didn't even notice that. That's marketed as a healthy shake. That's a milkshake with 46 grams of GMO sugar right there. That's less than the Coke. Okay, but that's a different topic for a different day. Of which they said that sugar is worse on the liver than alcohol. It's a good I might have to upload that documentary. Okay, but continuing on, it says 95% of the sugar beets grown in the United States is GMO. And it says, and over 50% of the white sugar is coming from GMO beets, not sugarcane, which is what the majority of consumers assume. You're Americans are retarded, man. Okay, you're retarded. Okay, if you go out there and you see in a field, okay, this crop, okay, there ain't no sugar, no sugar cane to be seen anywhere. Okay, but you see this crop. Where do you think your sugar comes from? Okay, it says while most of the world's countries opt for full disclosure on product labels, the United States still does not require any information to warn consumers of the lurking GMOs. All right, of which, like I said, if you got 50% of the granulated white sugar in America coming from sugar beet, all right, and at least 95% of the sugar beets grown in America being what? GMO, then how you gonna escape that? Okay, for instance, if you got a manufacturer of sandwiches, okay, and they bring forth an ingredient like pickle, which is made if I'm not mistaken with sugar within it, okay, how are you gonna avoid that sugar? What they gonna label that the pickle, okay, the ingredients of the pickle that you got in there, the sugar in there is GMO. They ain't gonna put that in there, okay. They ain't gonna put it in there. All right. So let's carry on now. Let's go to some of the dangers that you got. So it says, number one, a study reported in June 2013 of the peer-reviewed Journal of Organic Systems involved research conducted over 22.7 weeks. Okay, using 168 newly weaned pigs in a commercial U.S. piggery. Okay, so one of the groups of 84 pigs ate the diet that incorporated genetically modified soy and corn, and said another of 84 ate the equivalent of a non-GMO, non-genetically modified diet. Okay, so this is the result that they got. So it says the inflammation was worse in GM-fed pig. Okay, that's stomach inflammation. I think it was when I read it earlier. Okay, and it says it says compared to the non-GM by a factor of 4. Okay, so now you know why you're all messed up now. Okay, so which you really want to stay away from sugary diets, as you just seen. Here's another reason to stay away from sugary diets. Not only is it bad, worse to you than what do you call it? Than alcohol, which if I get to upload that video, I will do. But it's also, you also have a situation where the sugar source is genetically modified, man. Okay, so let's move on. It says 2012 researchers found that the female rats fed GMO in the form of Roundup Ready tolerant corn developed large tumors and dysfunction of the pituitary gland. Okay, let's go to that. Let's find out what that is. Okay, so the pituitary gland. Let's go to images. So where's that? So that seems that's in the brain. Okay, so they was them rats that were eating that corn, genetically modified corn, so where it resists pests and so on and so forth. I believe that's what Roundup Ready does. Okay, you was getting all kind of brain tumors, man. Okay, it says males also developed tumors and exhibited pathologies of the liver, right, and kidneys. Okay, so let's read one or two more, and you can find these articles. I'm not gonna read all of them. Okay, you can find these articles out there and read them for yourself. So let's read let's go for number. Okay, let's read number 5. So it says from 2002 to 2005, scientists of the universities of Urbino, of Paraguay, and Pavia in Italy published reports including genetically modified soy affected cells in the pancreas, okay, in the liver, which if your liver is messed up, man, you've had it. Okay, you've had it. You think about a car and the means of cleaning out the filter system. I don't know too much about cars, so apologies, but the filtration system is gone. Well, you're messed up. Okay, and it says there and tests of young mice. Okay, so it affects all kind of things, man. Okay, so this is something, so serious kidney and blood abnormalities. Okay, what else can we pick out here? Oh, rats showing fed GMO tomatoes with antisense gene to delay ripening. Okay, so when you have them tomatoes that are imported, okay, they grow to a certain amount of size and then they get flown in, but they got an antisense gene which allows them to ripen up by the time they get here. Well, they're saying here that they develop small holes in their stomachs, man. So you can't even eat a tomato out here, man. And that's gonna be within your ketchups and all kind of foods, man. Okay, so pretty much, hopefully, the point was made. Hopefully, this video was edifying. I'll see you brothers on the next video. Y'all, I'll see you outside. Okay, shalom.